Libra, hi, this is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Subscribers, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, make sure you click that subscribe button and ring the bell out beside it, and they'll be sure to let you know anytime I post new videos. Also, if you find you like the content we provide here at Joy to the World, be sure to give us a big thumbs up and share. All right, so I have the Angel Larium out just for you. Let's see what's going to be at the top. This is going to be our force to give us one or two guiding energies to help Libra here with where we're going, where this message is taking us. Ew. Come on. No topsy-turvy. Let's bring it in directly. Thank you. Okay, it's coming straight for you. So here we have Estivus. Estivus is like putting off any delays, which is interesting that they say it like that. It's like putting off the hand to distraction. It's like, so it might be, can you see it here? Can you see her hand right here? Okay, so the hand is like, step off. No distractions, no delay. I have somewhere I've got to go. I'm moving full steam ahead, straight ahead. I'm on a mission. I have a purpose. I have a focus. And with that, they say, let them know this card popped out. Family matters. Seahorse. All right, and in a seahorse, the unique thing about them is the male cares as much as the female. The male is highly involved. All right, and creating rooting and foundation is what I see here. So why they did that, they said do not take this card off the table, because I was tiddling around with a little bit of the tea, which I may do for y'all later. My blue bowl had a mishap, so now it's in the bag, the golden bag. So maybe that's what's close to your heart, is take it there. Okay, so we'll definitely do that. You're ringing in definitely very much of that energy. And you're a force to be reckoned with. Like you moving forward is creating a shockwave behind you. And the best way to explain that is, imagine if you've ever seen a boat on the water, like let's say a ski boat, right? Or a bass boat, and they're churning across the water. Well, as they move and break the water, it provides that wake back behind it, or really an opening. A shock wave going on that ripples out and has quite an effect. Well, that's what you're doing through your determination and your focus here. But because of the circles, I really see them telling me to come on down. So let's do that. Let's just do that. Okay? Let's see. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. We're going to see, what does Libra need to know? What are they headed straight for? What is their... What is it? What is it? What is it? Where are you? Where is the word for Libra here? Come on, bring it out. There you are. Okay. Happiness. A circle of happiness. And that circle of happiness has to do with everyone around you being of the same note, the same tune, the same vibration, getting on the same page, the heart page. Okay, and that could be family, that could be framily, but it definitely isn't frenemies. So cut that shit out. Get the frenemies gone. Get on the same page. A few people I can see will be leaving the circle here. And it's not that they've gone bad. It might seem like, you know, a bad egg, like in Willy Wonka. The golden eggs, when they're being tested, the ones that go wah wah and they go down, it just means they're moving on to a different place. And that always frees up more space for new to come in. And it works together for the good of all. That's the magic here. But this is letting you know you are determined to be happy. And it's not like at all costs. Happiness is who and what we are. It is the cellular particle DNA of our spiritual makeup, of our divine inheritance and right of who and what we are. And you're tired of it being anything else, because this to me is kind of like a nightshade flower, a flower of death that brings on the darkness that like causes the body to lock up and experience like this living death, and then finally end it. And you said you're done with that. You're changing that way, and you're ready to charge in and to bring in life, to bring in the cellular happiness, and to bring in the understanding what family is really about. So especially any of you male Libras tuning in, or people who are tuning into this Libra, let me go ahead and clear it up. Cross-watching or whatever else, there is no such thing. If you're tuning in, this message is for you, about you. That's how it works here, because it is direct. And if you are drawn here, let it be about you. Let this information, this message penetrate through. But for you masculines that are showing up here, it has to do with that awakening of love and purpose and determination in your life. And it's not like dogged determination where you trample over anything, because as you can see, you're moving over barren and fallow ground, and you're stirring up the life force in it. And so you choosing to blaze this path, right, to take this new way, is opening up the realms for happiness. And like heaven is quivering and shaking, and that's the smoke and that's rising up as spiritual power. You are awakening the earth with this determination of yours. Fantastic. Is there anything else here? Yeah. Scales. It starts with keeping your life in balance. Being true to who you are. They're saying you don't have to go diving in books and studying self-help and trying to correct things that you think are less than about yourself or for yourself. It's about really following your happiness. Look at that, cherries. So not just the fruit itself, but the flower. The flower needs to be pollinated, so it lets us know that you're part of both. Okay, there's some underlying here. Apparently you're wanting to play in the circles, so we just will. You're in charge here. It's your reading, right, Libra? So keep life in balance, and that tames that serpent, that tames that asp. And that asp with you guys is to be your own undoing. To really throw things out of balance, to test the full limits, to see what you're made of, to do it on your own. It's like, remember your focus? Remember what you're going for here? How you're blazing this new trail, how you're awakening and shaking the earth, and you're finding what you're really made of to rise up. Because it's not about you playing with this part of the scale. Look, it's balanced. It's happy on both sides, and it has not just potential but actual all around for yourself. But it's about really being like the rooted and the grounded down here of knowing where you come from, what your intentions are, and getting on board with that and finding it and discovering it within yourself. Okay, you're like, go into these cards. I'm like, on top of this mess, and you're like, yes. So let's see what you've got to say about that, keeping your life in balance and being true to yourself so that you can trust and relax and be at ease and peace. What do we have here? 3 of Wind, recognition, and number 7, the Chariot. So this recognition that's being hearkened to here is not about others noticing yourself, because so much of the scale that can put Libras out of balance is thinking that other cup, that other part of the scale is another person, that's throwing you off or whatever. They said that's delusional. Get your mind away from that, and is a distraction. Remember? That's what Esubus is here to tell us. It is a distraction, and that is not true. It's saying that ends up in your death, that nightshade, that repetitive outcome. They're telling you to draw into your own energy, into your own power. They're saying your own synergy. Play with your own energy. And that should be something that doesn't have to be precarious or provoking to an edge or an air to cause the asp to rise up and to bite or to strike, right? They're saying that's irreverent. Okay. That's a misuse and abuse of your energy and your divine creation. They're wanting you to get on the page with yourself and get on board with yourself and work with yourself in a more cohesive manner. Because as you can see here in this Chariot, and that's your crown, okay? To know this is your crown. It gives you 3 points, all right? It gives you 2 legs to stand on like the kangaroo, that tail for balance, for magnificent thrust and power, and to really spring yourself forward and to achieve the greatest experience in this life that you could ever experience, and that is what you're seeking. This movement, this change, this harmony. So this Chariot, as you can see, they're very composed and balanced. It's like sacred knowledge, sacred power, spiritual power, that knowingness, that gift of knowledge. It's really like you can see the divine star rising up with its ancient balance and wisdom. It's just a knowing beneath the surface that you're just, okay, we're going to toss that there for a moment, that you just know, y'all. Okay, so it's the carriage. Hello. A carriage is another form of a chariot, correct? You're just reiterating, like you're so funny. And that's what you're doing. You're in charge here. So it's the carriage, a journey, either physical or mental. And in your case, I see it as both. I see it, you're telling me now, that's what the sides of the scale is, the physical and the mental. And within that, the mental has potential, and actual potential is the flower, actual as the fruit, right? Because lots of flowers bloom, but they're not all pollinated. They don't all come to fruition, which is, an extension of the word fruit, right? So it's both mentally and physically. That's how you're bringing in the balance and being rooted and grounded, and the recognition that you're getting and desiring is reward. You're wanting the response, the full outcome of the work done, the application of self, the being determined, knowing where you're going, that whole thing to play out and to bring in this rebirth and this regeneration. Because if you'll look here, these are butterflies on either side, and they're kind of, pardon me, vaginas. So it's bringing forth this new life, this new birth, both mentally and physically for you. And that rises up your crown. Whoa. Your power, your devotion to yourself, which is valuable and incredibly important. Because look here. See? Look what's happening. You're harmonizing already. You know when to go and when to stay, and this is very much high priestess energy in this card. And you're the chaos is gone. The order's being communicated. It makes sense to your mind now. And for those of you who've struggled with what you could call mental illness, or feeling like you're unstable, or that you're different, or whatever else, those of you who've called your heart into question and you've seen yourself as bad, or you've put guilt or shame on yourself, I mean, that's what he's raising his hand here for. This is like the Hierophant, the high priestess, the magician, all wrapped up into one. And he's here, look, he's waving his hands to like pardon you and to forgive you. And not that you need that, but you're not forgiving yourself. So they're like, someone has to forgive you and move you forward. Because when you move forward, we want you to leave that old mind, that old body, that old way of doing behind. And we want your truth to rise up. For your indigo, that flickering, that instability to come to balance, to be in harmony, to be on the same page with yourself, so you're not being thrust about, that you're not being played anymore, that you're no longer the whipping boy, the whipping post, that you're no longer bearing those accusations, those things hurling themselves at the doors of your mind, at the walls of your ears, so that you're shut off from even your own heart, your own self, and trusting yourself. It says the hat comes in saying you will be playing a different role. That's that hat. That's this crowning energy rising up right here. This new mentality that you have of being in balance, being the author of your own perfection, of being in control. And why they told me to pick this deck. This is Tarot of the Spirit. It is fantastic. I've had it for, I don't know, over a quarter century. Anyways, it's beautiful. But this chariot carrying in that the movement is the power of the mind over matter. Really carrying it forward about being stable and balanced and knowing who you are and where you're at. Because just like GPSing, you don't keep getting out of your car, checking a map, trying to figure out what road you're on. You sit there and you plug that intelligence in and you receive it and you move and you go. But you're in your chariot, right? You're going along. You're holding your ground. You're staying your space. Okay? Oh, that's right. This one came flying in. So now we have the rooster. Pardon me. I've been here for a minute doing some of these, so let me stretch my legs. You have the rooster. It says an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. And what I would really say here is don't entertain that. People who want to pop off at the mouth and really just be very mouthy, that's going to throw your energy off, because that really overstimulates the potential, and it almost like it withers your flowers so that they're not even able to bear fruit. Like, you don't need to tolerate that. Like, you don't like hot air is what you're telling me. People who blow a bunch of hot air. Like, they speak a good game, but do they bring it? Do they bring it? And here it's not something that's going to pollinate your flowers like the rooster inseminates the hens, going about doing his business, marking his territory. These people then begin to mark your territory and begin to throw your scale out balance. And they wither your flowers so that you don't get the tasty fruit. And cherries are about cheerfulness. They're about uplifting cheerfulness. They're about that thing, that wind underneath your wings, that energy, that harmony of spirit and life, of heaven here on earth, the 4D coming together, that it carries you forward and thrusts you forward like that kangaroo. Remember the 3 points? Interesting. Okay, so let's see. I will just leave this here. And we're going to see what energy we're sending you forth in. That's fantastic. That's brilliant. That's beautiful. It's so intelligent, Libra. Thank you for sharing this. Oh, like a Pop-Tart at the toaster. Get you strawberry Pop-Tart. Get you strawberry Pop-Tart. Or blueberry chocolate, whatever. 30. Full ripened maturity. And irregardless of your age, it's at that pivotal age where you've come far enough along that you still have some wonder, that it, hopes haven't been dashed enough, that you still have that uplifted energy. But you also have a lot of wisdom behind you, a lot of earth behind you, a lot of experience as well. And you're still inviting. Okay, so before I go on, I'll just let you peek. The garden and the gate. You saw this very inviting energy. And you do see these greener pastures and these things that are trying to lure you forward, but they're imbalanced. They're not, it's not whole truth. It's half truths. And wouldn't that be a whole lie? Okay, so either it's a whole truth or it's a whole lie. It's not really a half truth. It's something trying to bait and lure you out of this beauty and this knowingness that you have. Because remember down here in these two cards, that has to do with your knowingness and your devotion to it, right? Stick with it. Trust yourself. Stay here and watch the pollinators come. Watch the good life come. The butterflies are coming. The birds are coming. They're singing their song. You're inviting them into your world, and you're beautifying your world. You're not blocked nor locked. This gate does not have a lock. It only has a latch, and it's down here low. So you're able to see fully, freely, unencumbered, unhindered. You've begun to put foundation design into this, working your intelligence already. So I pray your eyes be open to see it. This new life, remember, your new mind, your new body, your new way of doing it, your potential and your actual awakening, and coming into that beautiful balance of trusting yourself into your Trinity, because that's what it keeps reiterating here, just like the scale. You are the scale, and the bowls that hang from it, that's the Trinity. The Three of Wind came in. The recognition of your mind is the Trinity of being on the same page in harmonics with yourself, like striking a chord. And same as here. How it's those three energies. You have like the Hierophant, you have the Magician, and you have the High Priestess energy going on in this Chariot card. And saying, since you couldn't forgive yourself, I'm forgiving you, is what the Magician says here, because that's what he is. He's the master magician sitting here, bringing things to him, because you notice this Chariot doesn't have wheels. It's about finding home, and you're your perfect home. And to stop spinning your wheels and chasing after vanity, but watch the beauty of life come to you. Remember, because family, seahorse family, it's not just that. It has to do with hearth and home, happiness. It can be family. It can be family, friends that are family, right, that come around and they enjoy gathering in your garden because it's rich and abundant and inviting. It's stable. It's abounding in happiness. The good life, the cheerfulness, the cherries. Remember the cheeriness. Well, let's do this. Let's thank Estivus. Estivus, thank you for taking what was once cold, hard death and turning into this determination to remove all distractions, stay devoted to our truth, to the truth of who Libra is, and to walk forward in that, and to awaken this new path. Dreamy. I love it for you, Libra. That's fantastic. I'm excited to see how this plays out in your life. This beautiful world that you create that we all get to share in. Your magnificence. Be sure to tell me about it. Share it with me. Maybe one day I'll get to see it too. Hey, I love you. Talk to you soon, Libra. Bye.